just all at once. That's right, Graham Williamson, this guy.
Sit down or you're going to get arrested.
Get moving. Listen to the officer.
Both of you, grow up. Come on, boys. Move it.
That's right. He'll be calling in today, serving down. We're a very cop-friendly show. I've said that before, Sam Roberts Show. I mean, we're here to celebrate those that make the world a better place by enforcing law, order, and justice, and that's not just America. Everybody knows we've made great friends with Lieutenant Higgins from St. Landry Parish in Louisiana. Now, we're going to see if we can hit it off with Constable Graham Williamson. If you want to be a part of today's show, call us up, 866-969-1969, 866-969-1969. We spent a lot of time yesterday talking about this shooter. You know, the guy who showed up. What was his name? Vernon something? Vester. Of course. How could I get Vester wrong? Vester Flanagan, who showed up, this coward that he is, who showed up and, shot the reporter and the cameraman out there in Virginia. Unfortunately, Jesus Christ did not answer my prayers. Yesterday I was praying that Vester Flanagan survived his flubbed suicide attempt. He did not die at first. He shot himself in the head. So, of course, Vester Flanagan, he pulled a gun on this reporter and this cameraman out there in Virginia. And then he posted it on Facebook like a real warrior. I'm going to let my followers see it. I'm going to let them see how tough I am. And then ran away as fast as he could. Got in the car, chased by cops. They found him, and he ended up pulling off the road and shooting himself in the face. Which the only reason I'm against that is because I would have loved somebody else to have gotten the chance to do that. However, he wasn't dead at first. So when we were doing the show yesterday at noon, he wasn't dead, and all I was saying was that I was hoping he survived, and they brought him to the hospital, and they brought him back to life and regained his consciousness and the whole deal, just so they could kill him again, just so he could wake up, remember what he had done, realize that he was a complete failure at everything in life, including suicide, and could be killed. Unfortunately, he is dead, and we don't get to kill him ourselves. But the newspapers who have covered this. So I prayed yesterday to Jesus Christ that he stayed alive. He did not stay alive. But the newspapers this morning, I was saying yesterday that the news agencies, like the TV networks, were going crazy showing his photos and everything. But today, and maybe they're not exactly newspapers, the New York newspapers, like the Posts and the Daily News of the world. It's more like a picture pages book than a newspaper per se. But both of the newspapers, the cover is this 24-year-old news reporter with a gun pointed at her face that's about to go off and kill her. What good? That's not newsworthy. You're not putting that on the newspaper because you're trying to be newsworthy about things. You're putting it on the paper so you can sell more newspapers and shock people. Who on earth would be helped by seeing that image? I could think of people that we would not do good things for. For instance, everybody. But nobody. The only people that would benefit from seeing that photo would be the shooter himself. Because we established this yesterday. The shooter, the reason that he did it was because he was a disgruntled ex-employee from this news channel. He wanted to be on TV. He badly wanted to be a newsman. So what does he do? He tries to be a newsman. He fails at it. He gets fired, and he wants attention. Why else would he commit this horrendous crime and then put it on Facebook and put it on Twitter? He wants attention. So what do the newspapers here do? They give him attention even in death. It's crazy. It's not like they don't portray anything good on the cover, at least, about the reporter or the cameraman. They just show this maniac in all of his glory. I can't fathom the thinking behind it. 866-969-1969. You want to call Sam Roberts Show this morning. It's 866-969-1969. You can also tweet us. Our Twitter account is at SR Show SXM. That's at SR Show SXM. We post everything we talk about. And, Kathy's in here. Katie's going to be in here. Taylor's going to be in here. We'll get creep shots of them, too. So there's a lot of reasons to follow today.
Isn't one of the main rules of journalism to keep your integrity as a journalist? You're not supposed to make news.
You're not supposed to make news. But there's no doubt in my mind, you're 100% right, that the idea is that you're just reporting the facts, but somewhere along the line it became such a business that both the Post and the Daily News, and they've done this for years. I mean, that's why they have all those, hilariously clever puns. When Jared Fogle got arrested, I can't remember which paper it was. It was one of those two papers that went out, and they actually did the footlong in jail joke that everybody on Twitter made. A day later, it showed up on the cover of their newspaper. You're right. They're trying to make news for themselves so that they can get their cover to go viral. So everybody's like, oh, I got to see this newspaper.
Well, I was even talking about Vester, the anchor. Mm-hmm. If you are to keep your integrity as a journalist, you're not supposed to make news. And clearly he just wanted the recognition.
Fame. That's all he wanted. Yeah. He wanted to be the guy. But that job, there are so few people who I think enter news media because they want to be journalists. There's a handful, but most of the time, especially like the on-camera people that are really just teleprompter readers, it's the same thing as politicians. They just want an audience, and they don't have anything to say, but when you're a newsreader, they'll put it in front of you. Like, they'll get a teleprompter moving. If you're a newsreader who doesn't do your own reporting, you're not a journalist. You know what I mean? You're just somebody who wants an audience. That kind of goes against the whole principle of being a journalist. But the same principle applies to these two fucking newspapers that are trying to get themselves to be the headlines in other papers. And I guess it's working because we're talking about it. Josh in Boston, welcome to Sam Roberts Show.
Hey, Sam, how you doing?
Good, pal.
So there's a couple of things. One of them is not so much the newspapers, but yesterday when this first happened, I kind of taken back because Fox News came up. This Fox through Sirius XM, I don't watch it. So I'm listening, and they said, oh, we're only going to show the video once an hour. Not the video of the shooter, but the cameraman's shot.
We're only going to show the murder video once an hour. That's the top of every hour here on Murder Wednesday. Tune into Fox News once an hour, top of the hour. Make sure you're tuned in because you're not going to see it again until noontime.
But when there's a school shooting or a cinema shooting, they plaster everything about it. It seems like because it happened to them, they were kind of not as flagrant as they usually are.
Well, I would have thought they'd be even less flagrant than they usually are.
That's what I'm saying. I thought they weren't as bad as they normally are, but it just seems like it's a double standard. And then I heard someone throwing around that the cameramen are heroes. I mean, come on, the heroes are the guys fighting the war overseas right now. A cameraman is not a hero.
No, he's not a hero. It's just it's a sad story. I don't know. Yeah, I think there were people that were trying to say that when the cameraman got shot, he kind of turned around to make sure he didn't. I mean, he fell. He got shot and fell. But I don't know. I'm not. There's no reason to. I wouldn't call him a hero, but there's also no reason to necessarily take anything away from him. Rob in Boston, welcome to Sam Roberts Show.
Hey, Sam. I just wanted to say it was good to hear you in the morning again. It's been a while.
Thanks, buddy.
So, not to jump off the subject, I saw you tweet yesterday. Were you on Anthony's show yesterday?
No.
Okay, maybe I just need to update my Twitter feed.
Yeah, I mean, I've been over there, but it was like weeks ago.
Oh, shit. I'm sorry.
That's
my bad. All right.
That's okay. There's a lot going on in the world of Sam Roberts. You got to stay up to date on it, though. You have to stay up to date. Who knows what I'm doing from one moment to the next? It's impossible to know. All you can do is follow along on Twitter and all that stuff. I also, as this news continued on, there's a picture. When the news first broke, there was a photo of the reporter who got killed with a man who was reported to be the killer. They said, this is the guy. This is the guy who killed her. And look, they're taking a photo together. There's got to be something up with this. Now, unfortunately, and this is what not a ton of people are reporting because they must feel very foolish about it, it was not the man who killed her. It's just another guy who happened to be black. Like, they don't even look alike. If you look at these photos, and Adrian, see if you can find that photo so we can tweet it out at SR Show SXM. Put like a side-by-side so you can see that this is not Vester Flanagan at all. Everybody's seen what the actual killer looks like now. He's a big, fat, dopey-looking guy. But the other guy, who everybody at first was saying, this is like when Spike Lee tweeted out the address of the person that he thought was, I think, George Zimmerman, and it was just somebody else's address. Everybody's so quick to be like, here's your villain. Here's your supervillain. Let's all jump on this guy. And the dude is sitting there going, no, no, no. I just also happen to be a black guy. I don't understand. I don't even look like the guy. I was looking at his Twitter. His name's Sherman Lee Jr. And he's like an entrepreneur and like a guy who goes around and travels speaking and inspiring people and stuff. All of his tweets are inspirational quotes. All of his tweets are like tweets about being a hero, tweets about inspiring people to do right. And I'm sitting there going like, okay, so you spend your whole life inspiring people to do right. You spend your whole life trying to do the right thing and wake up in the morning and feeling like, you know, we only have one life, so let's live it today. And you wake up and say, bye. Not a problem for them. We go to Ryan on Long Island. Ryan, welcome to Sam Roberts Show.
Hey, Brand Muffins, how are you?
What's up, pal?
So what's the difference between them showing the news footage of the thing happening and then patting themselves on the back for not showing the video that he recorded? What's the fucking difference?
Right. They go like, well, we're not going to do... A lot of news organizations are showing you the video that he took of shooting this poor woman. We're not going to show you that video. Now, here's 150 pictures of him. Here's what the news footage actually looked like. No, we're not going to show the victims. No, we're not going to show them at all. Instead, what we'll do is just highlight this guy because it's exactly what he would have wanted.
And like, it pissed me off how every 5 seconds they were like, well, we're gonna just focus on the two victims. We're not even going to mention it. And then they go on for 5 minutes talking about the shooter. It's just, I was like listening to the radio yesterday, the news,
yeah.
CNN and MSNBC, and they were just driving me fucking nuts listening to that bullshit.
That's what they do every time. Every time.
What's the solution to that? Because you have, as a journalist, you have to report names and the story, but do we focus on not mentioning the shooter's name and not glorifying them? Where's the what do you do for that?
Well, I think what you do is you focus attention in the right direction. You think about what your motivations are, and you realize that if you're doing stuff specifically, and this is what they were doing, I mean, if you realize what I'm doing feels exploitive, maybe I shouldn't be doing this. You realize, okay, we're a news outlet. What we can do is focus on the people who got killed and try to push out this message of what happens to victims, what happens to victims' families, what happens to, everything. Instead of, hey, look how evil the killer is. Look at this psychopath. Let's all be on the lookout for him. How could he have done this? Because every other psychopath, as much as anybody can be influenced by the media, is sitting there watching this going, oh, I want to be a psychopath too. Like this stupid idiot Joker kid who got, life in prison instead of death. And I'm looking at this guy, Holmes, the guy who shot up the Colorado theater. Not only did he not get the death penalty, this guy looks like he's gained weight since he's been in jail. He's being fed so well. His face looks as full as I've ever seen it. He looked gaunt when he got arrested. He looks well fed and rested.
He was wearing odd glasses, too.
When he got arrested or in the court?
No, in the court.
He probably got himself a new prescription. There must be a good eye doctor in jail.
They look like women's glasses.
Well, maybe he has a little style about him now. I'll bet in jail he's doing a lot of things that women do. Let's go to Ed on Long Island. Ed, you are on Sam Roberts' show.
Hey, Sammy, good morning. How are you?
Good, pal.
So, it's interesting at this point in time, if this was a reverse shooting, if this was a white person shooting two black reporters, I'm sure Sharpton and our president would be all over it. I'm just kind of curious as to why you think that we haven't heard anything from that community condemning these acts of violence.
Well, I mean, Sharpton is a glorified ambulance chaser. There's no denying about Sharpton. Obama, if he had really, I guess I haven't read an Obama statement. If he really hasn't made a statement about this, that's pretty fucked. Because he does, he's made statements about other shootings. This is a biggie. This is one where he should be, he should be pretty outraged.
Yeah, this is where the Sharptons of the world have to come out of the woodwork.
Yeah, but Sharpton is I can't imagine, even in the black community, I don't think that anybody thinks that Sharpton has an ounce of integrity in him. I don't think people actually look at Al Sharpton and think to themselves, oh, this is a leader. This is somebody who's fighting for our rights. Al Sharpton's like Donald Trump. Al Sharpton's a guy who people know that, they'll either rally or get pissed off. Either way, they're going to watch TV when Al Sharpton's on. That's why he gets the gigs that he gets. But I've never actually met, and I know he's got a big audience, and for some reason, people listen to him. but I have never actually met somebody that respects or follows anything Al Sharpton says.
Yeah, exactly. And they're canceling his show. And there's one difference between him and Trump. Trump has better hair.
Trump does have better hair. Thank you, buddy. And Trump may be the president of the United States of America. Leslie in New Jersey.
Hi, Sam. How are you?
Good.
You were talking about that jerk who shot the people and that Joker guy.
Yeah, the idiot James Holmes. That was his name.
Yes, thank you. I couldn't remember his name either.
Good.
He looks heavier now because they're making him take his antipsychotic medication.
Oh, I thought it was because of all the semen he was ingesting.
Oh, that could be part of it.
It could be. You don't know, because protein, if you don't work off the protein, it's going to turn into fat.
And he is getting 3 square meals a day of all the starches you can eat. So
yeah, that's right. Thank you.
But I think that's part of it.
It's a medication thing. But either way, like, just for this guy to show up, like, he's caused so much harm to so many people. For him to show up and not only not get the death penalty, but look healthy and well fed, I'm going, what is going on? What happens? How could a jury even look at him and think? I would just do it just based on sight. I wouldn't even listen to the trial. I would just see that this is a guy who definitely shot all those people. We know he shot them. He's gained weight. He looks healthy. He looks like he's in pretty good physical condition. He needs to be killed. That's the way I would be on a jury pool. And maybe that's why I don't get picked when I go to jury duty. But David in Tennessee.
Hey, good morning, Sam. Yeah, Obama made a statement, but he got it wrong. For some reason, he thought only one person was killed.
It was definitely two people.
But he definitely made a statement. And, Sharpton lost his gig. He's now a morning guy on Sundays in MSNBC.
He just does Sunday mornings?
Yeah, he just I think starting now, he's doing my Sunday morning.
We're going to go ahead and push you on to... You're going to have to go ahead and come in on Sunday. Okay, thanks, Al.
He said he was happy about it because now he gets A-listers.
He said, he's the king of spin. That Al Sharpton is the king of spin. I would love to talk to Al Sharpton about how he feels about this guy, Sherman Lee Jr., who got the killings pegged on him by the media just because he was a black guy that took a photo with the victim. That's the only reason. Go to SR Show SXM on Twitter and look at the photo, and you tell me he's got anything in common. They don't even have, like, the guy who killed the reporter and the cameraman is significantly lighter skinned. Like, they don't even have the same skin tone. They have a different haircut. The guy, Sherman Lee Jr., doesn't look like a news reporter. The guy, Vester, this idiot who killed the reporter, looks like he could be a news reporter. They look totally different. They're not even the same weight. Vester is significantly chubbier. There's no doubt in my mind that the only thing they have in common is that one's a black guy. That's it. Lewis, you have to be offended by this. As a matter of fact, Lewis, did you kill that reporter? Lewis is our black intern. Did you kill the reporter?
I did not.
You did not? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Apparently we look alike.
You look like that guy, Vester.
Yeah.
You look just like him.
We all look alike, apparently.
You know what the main thing you guys have in common is, right?
Skin color?
That's right, you're black, both of you. Have you ever? How would you respond to that if you wake up in the morning and you realize, what? I went to sleep. I typed in a motivational tweet to tell everybody to be the best you can be, and then I go to bed and then I wake up in the morning and they go, see, there he is. There's the murderer. You go, what?
I don't even know what I would do.
No.
What would you do?
I don't know, because you would think, especially if you're a positive person, you don't want to believe that the sort of inherent racial issues that happen in the United States happen.
Right.
You go, you know what? I think people make too big a deal out of that racial stuff. I think, everybody says that, but I don't get treated unfairly. And I have friends that are white and friends that are Asian and friends that are Hispanic.
Pretty much
I don't
me.
think it's an issue. Right. And you're sitting there going, I don't think it's an issue. And then some random dude who just took a photo with a white woman wakes up in the morning and realizes that he's being called a murderer on national news for no reason. And then they don't even correct themselves. They just replace the photo. And so as we said, that's him. What? No, just mention I'm not a murderer.
I feel bad for him.
You got to.
I feel bad.
You got to. Oh, my gosh. Well, if you want to call the show, 866-969-1969, 866-969-1969 is the phone number to call. A lot going on today, a lot to get to. As I said, Katie Linendahl is going to be here. Taylor Strecker is going to be here. Oh, and I don't know. I'm getting prepared for this Constable Williams interview as well. What we wanted to do was get the Filthy Brothers on the show. For those that don't remember, the Filthy Brothers, I've had a relationship with them since I was doing a Friday show every week here on Opie Radio. I used to do Friday afternoons. That show became... By the way, there's I think a photo of Lewis going up on our Twitter page. We're going to try to figure out whether it was Lewis, Vester, or Sherman Lee Jr. I can't tell the difference. We could do a fuck, marry, kill with Lewis, Vester, and Sherman Lee Jr. and it would be the most difficult one ever. Who cares? You just pick whoever. I can't tell the difference. I can't see. There's got to be something different. They must be triplets. That's the only possible scenario. They must be triplets. We're posting that on Twitter at SR SXM as we speak. But the Filthy Brothers, I wanted them to do the show because I thought it would be fun. Since I don't get an opportunity to do this time slot, I'm not usually on in the morning, I thought it'd be fun to get the Filthy Brothers in here. Now, I used to do Friday afternoons here on Opie Radio before I was on every day at noon. And the Filthy Brothers are a group, if you've heard my show before, you know who they are, but if you haven't, they're twins, they're black guys, they're tall, they hang out outside Sirius XM all the time, and they just stand there. So I didn't know who they were at first. I sent one of our guys down. He started talking to them. I found out they were rappers. I brought them up to the studio. They're ridiculous. They're these two guys. They really haven't accomplished anything. I mean, nothing. They stand outside all day. And what they do is, the reason they stand outside Sirius XM is they wait for celebrities to leave Sirius. They ask them to take a photo and hold up the album, and then they tweet out 2,000 times that this celebrity is co-signing on their album. That's their entire business plan. And they've been doing it for, I've probably known them for a year now. They've been doing it longer than that. They've been doing it forever. That's the entire business plan. It hasn't been very successful at all. But I have had them on twice now. I had them on the first time, and I don't remember what I did, but I do remember that they didn't leave terribly happy. The second time I had them on, they really didn't leave happy. I wanted them to freestyle, and they insisted on doing it a cappella. I insisted that we have some kind of beat to go along with their rap. They said that they wanted to do something very 90s. That was their goal. They said, we're like a throwback to the 90s. So I said, okay, and this is what we did with them. How about this? We'll do it a cappella.
Right.
And then maybe just slide a beat in under you. You won't even know it's there.
All right.
Okay. All right, Paul, you ready?
All right.
Just slide it in under. We'll start a cappella, and we'll slide it in. It'll sound great.
Shit.
Trust me.
Spit some shit.
And we'll go. Okay, here we go. This was especially important to them because DJ Who Kid was in studio, and they thought that once DJ Who Kid heard them rap, heard them spit, as they say in these streets, that their careers in hip-hop would be changed forever, and they'd be able to pursue music and make a very substantial living from it. Here's what happened.
Oh, the acapella? You ready for me?
Yeah, go for it. Okay.
Check it. Puffing on a ton of chronic, I'm coming through like a J train across the back of some of the projects to come on through. Marcy, get respect and then skate. If I hear a beat, I'ma stop.
Especially a beat
I'ma
like
stop.
that. What's that? It sounds like a xylophone or something. What is that?
What are you talking about?
What's that?
That's a beat. That's a beat.
Yeah, I thought that's you guys. It's from the 90s.
Oh,
You see,
Sam
that's
Robbins,
how-
he
it's-
dissing us.
No.
He dissing us. Right?
You see?
It's from the 90s.
Nah, I'm the boss of my own decisions,
You didn't
man.
want
If I say I'm a cappella,
And if it's a beat, you got to throw in a Biggie Smalls like
Yeah.
a kick in the door or
Hey, yo,
something like that.
What do
you
you
know?
think about this beat right
You
here?
didn't watch Rugrats? It's
That-
the 90s.
Nah, I'm not rhyming on that.
See, that was my problem. And you could hear I took full blame for that. I said, you guys said that you wanted to do something out of the 90s. And to me, I thought back to the 90s. I said, what did I do in the 90s? Oh, I watched Rugrats on Nickelodeon. That's a great song, and there's no lyrics in it. I'm sure they could rap over it. It's not going to be a problem. So I put it on, and I guess that's not as street and not as cool as I thought it was. So they got very upset, and they didn't come back, and they said they weren't coming back. Then they ended up, Ice-T and Coco have a daytime TV talk show now. And they had, I don't know why, but they had the Filthy Brothers on the show. I've watched them on the show. They rapped on the show. Again, I don't know how they found them. I don't know why they were on the show. They must have, especially this early on, they just started doing this daytime show. So to have the Filthy Brothers on in like the first couple of weeks is not is not a good indication. Yes, Paul?
We have a quick update.
What's the a quick update on the Filthy Brothers?
Yes, and since we are on social media at SR Show SXM,
yes.
and we're talking about them,
yes.
we tweeted that the Filthy Brothers refused to do the show after the appearance and tweeted out the YouTube link to that freestyle video.
Okay, just so people knew. Just so that, yeah. If you want to see what it looked like in the studio, you can see that we made a YouTube video, and it's on SR Show SXM right now on Twitter.
So the Filthy Brothers have already responded.
Okay, so they are Twitter active this morning.
Yes, and they tweeted, "Can you all stop tweeting us this nonsense? Buzz off. Y'all are annoying. Stop tweeting us before we block y'all."
Whoa, I don't want to get blocked by the Filthy Brothers. The Filthy Brothers also tweet every 30 seconds, all day, every day. They love Twitter. Unfortunately, it's the same tweets all day, every day. So that's how I watched their appearance on Ice-T's show. They tweeted out the link. They literally, this morning, have tweeted it out half a dozen times. This morning. It's not even 8 a.m. yet. And they've tweeted it out 7 times. Okay? I clicked the link. Number one, I do stand corrected because they are obviously even more successful than I thought they were. It has been viewed 45 times. That's right. There are 45 views on this YouTube video. And this is something, again, they've tweeted it out over half a dozen times, 6 or 7 times. And yes, they have managed to garner 45. Oh, thank God we have instant updates here on Sam Roberts Show. As a matter of fact, breaking news. The Filthy Brothers, I checked the video before the show, and we have an update. The Filthy Brothers now have 46 views on their YouTube video. That's right, 46 views of their performance on Ice-T and Coco's show. And you know it's the real deal because it is a video camera videoing a TV screen. It is not actually a clip from the show. Somebody decided to take their cell phone and video their TV screen and get themselves a quick 46 views on YouTube. So very proud of my old friends, the Filthy Brothers. However, I desperately wanted them to come on the show because I figured, this is a great opportunity. I haven't been on in this morning time slot before. This is the time when these Filthy Brothers could be exposed to a whole new audience. Kathy, you've never even gotten to meet the Filthy Brothers.
I know. I'm really upset.
Right, because you heard them on the air.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I have to say this. They will not be on the show today.
I was wondering how many of those views were from them and how many were from you.
Okay, well, I have watched it 3 times, so that leaves 43 views unaccounted for. I would imagine they've watched it several times themselves, and you have to account for their fan base, who have possibly watched the video as much as 10 times since it's been up. So, still, and they've made it very clear that they have no interest in doing Sam Roberts Show here because they feel, number one, that I mistreated them, but number two, that their level of fame after doing Ice-T and Coco's show has surpassed Sam Roberts Show, that this would be a step backwards for them.
They're TV stars now. Why would they want to do radio?
Right. Because, doing a show last week with Jake Johnson from New Girl and Elizabeth Moss from Mad Men on the same show, I'm surprised both of them didn't say, well, isn't this kind of a step backwards? Because maybe the Filthy Brothers were right. Adrian, on the other hand, decided he's going to take matters into his own hands, and he went down and he spoke to them. He told me that he updated me this morning, but I had already known that it did not go well. I hate to be a spoiler on this. I knew that he did not get a mission accomplished because I got a tweet from the Filthy Brothers before he even showed me, and they wrote, "This dude at Not Sam just doesn't." Okay, the word is spelled D-O-S-E-N-T with an apostrophe. D-O-S-E-N-T, so doesn't. This dude at Not Sam doesn't understand that we will never do his little show again. L-I-T-T-E-L. So I guess that would be Lytle. This dude at Not Sam just doesn't understand that we will never do his Lytle show again. SMH. Ever. I guess shake my head ever. I don't know what that means. What part of no doesn't he understand? Shake my head. I guess I have a tough time taking no for an answer, and I've never considered this a Lytle show. I've always thought this was a radio show. However, Adrian has still been working on them, direct messaging them all morning long, trying to get them to come up, and they've informed him, number one, that I, Sam Roberts, am nonsense. Complete nonsense, and that they believe in them. And then Adrian responded by saying, I believe in you. And they responded by saying, so do we. They believe in themselves.
I want you to
as well.
say it, Melanie,
I was
but
surprised that they
if
were
you have
up
a
at
common
6
last
a.m.
name, that or sometimes what they'll do is you throw your stuff in the garbage somewhere,
probably in the
and they'll
studio
get an old
lately.
receipt or an old check
probably
or something like
recording,
that,
the next
and
fat
they'll
track.
use that
There's good news.
to get
There
that.
is
It's
more.
the
Should I
classic
play the
identity
stinger, Paul,
theft.
do you think?
This is
There
a very
more.
common occurrence.
Breaking news coming in right now as we unravel the Filthy Brothers saga. If you want to call the show, by the way, 866-969-1969 is the number to call. Sam Roberts Show. What's going on over there, Paul?
The @SRS Show SXM account has been officially blocked.
Okay, the Filthy Brothers have blocked the official show account. That is by the way, we have been a daily show since June 1st. So June, July, so 3 months we've been on the air as a daily show. 3 months already. 2 guests have blocked our show Twitter account. 2 guests that have come into this studio have blocked our show Twitter account. And one of them today is the Filthy Brothers. Well, that's a shame. That's a shame.
Technically 3.
Technically, because there's 2 Filthy Brothers,
Yes.
you mean? Yes, technically 3. Do you think they're both operating that Twitter account at the same time? Like, do you think they go over with each other? All right, bro, I'm going to write Lytle Show. Okay, that's good. That's good. Click send. Click send. If there's 2 of them working on it and there's that many grammatical errors and spelling mistakes, this is not good. However, I do feel like the show's going to suffer. I do feel like we do have an issue. My whole mission in doing Sam Roberts Show is to blow it up as big as humanly possible. And obviously the Filthy Brothers became aware that that was the only reason I was having them on, quite frankly, to hoping that I could, with my show, leech off of their immeasurable fame. They've tweeted out that they're not hooked on fame, by the way, which is a little bit, doesn't exactly add up with the fact that they won't do my show because they're too famous. However, I feel like I was leeching on to them to try to get some of their fame to get even more famous, and now without them, I just don't know what I'm going to do. Okay, is that okay? They just said fuck their show. Somebody, one of our many listeners, tweeted to the Filthy Brothers. That's Papa Swam. Tweeted to them. Those were pretty good drops. When you going back on Sam Roberts' show? That's a fair question. And they said, fuck their show, THERE. We regret doing their show, THERE. It's the wrong there twice. Let's go to Duffy in New Mexico. Duffy, you are on Sam Roberts' show.
What up, Sammy Grandmother?
How you doing, pal?
Nothing much, man. I just barely got up. Did I miss anything in the first 30 minutes?
Well, we were talking about the shooting a little bit, and I just brought up the fact that I am on even worse terms with the Filthy Brothers than I was earlier this week. They have declared fuck me and fuck my show, and that they regret doing it, and that they are too famous. And I am afraid that those feelings may have terrible ramifications for the future of this show.
Don't worry about it, Sammy Grandmother. You need to buy them a dictionary and move on with your life, brother, man.
I mean, I'll try, but they're very, very good. Mark in South Carolina.
Hey, Sam, I was wondering, all I'm hearing about is the Filthy Brothers. I wonder if you worship the Filthy Brothers.
You know, I mean, it does veer on that. It is, if any, it's a hero worship. I don't know if it's a religious worship, but I am left in awe of their immeasurable talent.
Well, I do have a better suggestion. You could worship these nuts.
Okay, that's another possibility. I haven't met Deez yet. Kurt in Baltimore.
Hey, Sammy, how you been?
Good, pal.
So I got some inside info.
Yeah.
They're trying to get into the studio of Ice and Coco. Apparently that happened a couple weeks ago, and I got a friend that she works on the show, and they keep showing up in the studio.
Because they want to do the show again?
Yeah, apparently this is an epidemic.
I love that strategy because that's what they did here, like forever. And they told me I'm sure they told me they were going to do Sway's show. I'm sure Sway was just like, yeah, we'll get you on. And then just kept on walking, kept going about his business because why would he waste his time with a couple of vagrants that hang outside the studio all day?
They're tweeting Ernie Anastas.
Why are they tweeting Ernie Anastas? Oh, join me on Good Day New York to announce my New York talent show. I guess they just figured there was a talent show, and Ernie Anastas is the man. Everybody knows Ernie Anastas.
But they were on Ice-T. What do they need?
What do they need Ernie Anastas for?
Exactly.
Look, I feel like we as a show, and the listeners are part of the show. We're all one big group and one big happy family together. I feel like we all need to work together on this. And if we could all politely and nicely tweet the Filthy Brothers, and it's at Filthy Brothers with a Z, FILTHYBROTHERZ, Filthy Brothers with a Z. If we could all tweet them with the hashtag SR Show and let them know, number one, that they are literally the greatest musicians to ever live, and number two, the SR Show cannot survive without them and that we need them back on. If we could show them that kind of support, then maybe, just maybe, they would change their minds. So, if you could find it in your heart, if you want to help the show, maybe tweet Filthy Brothers with a Z today, hashtag SR Show, and let them know how immensely talented they are and how badly this show needs them. Let's go to Craig in Connecticut. What's up, Craig?
Hey, I'm Sam Roberts, professional broadcaster.
That's right.
Morning, man.
That's right, buddy.
Okay, I got to whisper this to you.
Yeah?
I'm worried about that black intern.
Lewis?
He may turn on you because of your tremendous talent.
Is that right?
He may strike and try to take the golden microphone of Sam Roberts.
He's not going to get it from me. From my cold, dead hands is how he'll get this microphone. Okay, I'm going to tell you that.
Watch your back, brother. Watch your back.
I will. Thank you, and I appreciate you. Good looking out, buddy. Good looking out. Jason in Detroit.
Hey, Sam, I got a couple questions. First of all, maybe to settle this, bring some peace with you and the Filthy Brothers, maybe bring in your own good friend Virgil.
Well, here's the thing. I don't know if I'm on good terms with Virgil or not. Last time I saw Virgil, he was on the show. That video is on YouTube, too. Another interview that didn't go extremely well. But he did say he wanted to break his foot off in my ass. However, by the end of the interview, after he mentioned his 14.5-inch penis many, many times, by the end, he said we were on good terms as long as I took him to Olive Garden. I did not take Virgil to Olive Garden, so I just don't know. Kathy Kelly, whose Twitter is at Catherine Kelly, with an EY at the end, tweeted, "Hi to the Filthy Brothers. Would you come on at SR Show SXM for me? I really wanted to meet you guys." That's perfect. She's got the Twitter profile with the it's a good one. You're on a red carpet. You got a dress on, showing the bare back, showing off the ass a little bit. It's perfect. It's perfect. Let's see what they responded. Sorry, Catherine. Keeping it formal. Sorry, Catherine. Please don't get mad at us, but we'll never do that show again. Ever. All right. Well, even a pretty girl can't get them to...
I thought I could make it happen.
You really tried, and I appreciate that effort. But, it may be a numbers thing. It may be a numbers thing where it's just like everybody has to let them know how badly they want to hear them. All right. Thank you, Jason. Let's go to... Yeah, go ahead.
One more question. I'm going to kick it old school.
Mm-hmm.
What time is it?
No. That's a pre-show bit. I can't bring that back, but way to go, pal. Lisa in Philadelphia.
Hey, Sam.
Hey, Lisa.
All right, so I have a great idea. You're going to kind of have to go old school with this. It's definitely it's reminiscent of Roland. Offer them a pizza party.
Maybe that's what we need to do. Kathy, could you tweet the Filthy Brothers again and say, "Don't worry, I'm not mad at you guys, but if you come up, we'll throw you a pizza party"?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, do that, because people love pizza parties, and if I know the Filthy Brothers, they love a pizza party. Rob in Charleston.
Sammy, I don't know if we should let these guys in the studio, man. I just saw a picture of them, and I'm pretty sure they both killed the reporter and cameraman.
That may be true. That may be true. If we've learned anything from the news media, that may very well be true. I'm going to watch out for that as well. All right, let's take a quick break. I want to talk. When we get back, we're going to get somebody on the phone that's become quite the celebrity on Sam Roberts Show. If you've listened to the show, we're on every day at noon Eastern Time here on Opie Radio, and we have played the shit out of this clip.
Sit down or you're going to get arrested. Get moving. Listen to the officer. Both of you, grow up. Come on, boys. Move it.
Come on, boys. All right, I'll explain exactly what that is, and we should have that constable himself on the phone when we get back. Stay right there. Sam Roberts Show continues in a minute.
Sam Roberts Show will continue next.
This is Ron Bennington, and join me every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. for Ron Bennington interviews right here on Opie Radio, XM 103, Sirius 206. I sit down and talk to some of the greatest people in show business. This week, they've got a brand new movie out called Trainwreck, and I'll be talking with Judd Apatow and Bill Hader Sunday morning, 10 a.m., right here on Opie Radio, XM 103, Sirius 206.
Hey, it's Lance Bass from NSYNC, and for the pop hits of the first decade of the millennium,
it's Pop 2K.
Every week I put them all in a row and count down the top 30
from a different year in the 2000s on the Pop 2 Countdown.
Monster hits
and songs you may have forgotten you downloaded.
Premiering Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern Time, SiriusXM Channel 10. Available free on all inactive satellite radios through September 8th. Tell your friends and family.
Hear that? That's the sound of someone finding their lost keys in seconds with Tile. Tile is a simple little device that attaches to anything, like your keys, wallet, or purse, so you never lose your things again. Just download the free app on your smartphone. If you lose something, the app will show right where you left it on a map. Tile rings too, so you can find it fast. Tile is your answer to finding anything, anytime. Order today for just $25 with free shipping. Go to jointile.com. That's jointile.com.
Fire the stockbroker and hire yourself. I'm Larry Levin, and I've been on the trading floor for 23 years. I was one of the biggest traders in the S&P pit. I'm also the president of Trading Advantage, the leading educational firm teaching people how to become professional day traders. Now, for a limited time, I'm offering one of the trading techniques I used to make $1.9 million for free. Get started right now by calling 800-448-5169. Leave your email address on my voicemail, and I'll email you my free trading technique and my daily insider market report at no cost to you. This is the very information I used to build my fortune.
I was getting ready to retire. I still needed to make extra income, but I didn't want to work for anyone else. Because of Larry and his excellent instructors, I could trade successfully for myself, and I'll never have to work for someone else again.
Fire the stockbroker and hire the most dependable person you know, you. Again, call in the next 90 minutes and leave your email address on my voicemail. Call 800-448-5169. That's 800-448-5169.
Thank you for calling.
This is the inside of an automated answering system, your small business lifeline to the outside world.
Your call is important to us.
Miles of wires and circuits working in concert to answer and route millions of calls flawlessly.
Please listen carefully as our menu has changed.
A miracle of telephonic innovation, except for one thing. It doesn't give a about your callers.
I'm sorry, I didn't get that.
What are you really saying to the customer who can't reach a real person? Rediscover the lost art of human interaction with Ruby Receptionists, the virtual receptionist who sets you apart from your competition by handling all your calls with a perfect mix of friendliness and professionalism. Just like an old-fashioned receptionist. Try Ruby free for 14 days. Visit callruby.com, or better yet, call us 844-400-RUBY.
Let's face it, celebrities are interesting. That's why they're, wow, celebrities. This summer, take one with you on a road trip or to the beach. Hey, they can even make that commute to work a little better. Just download the free Audible app and hear Melissa Rivers remember her groundbreaking comedy icon mother in The Book of Joan. Or get the inside scoop on the Playboy Mansion from Bunny Holly Madison. Spoiler alert, it's not all it's cracked up to be. She spills the beans in Down the Rabbit Hole. And the Parks and Recreation cast is all about life advice, from Nick Offerman's gumption to Aziz Ansari's taking on love in Modern Romance. Celebrities also narrate Audible's fiction, bringing stories to life in a whole new way, like the legendary John Malkovich performing Kurt Vonnegut's classic, Breakfast of Champions. Choose any title from 180,000 and listen for free. Just go to audible.com/radio now for your free trial and discover Audible's stories that surround you. Again, that's audible.com/radio.
Welcome back to Sam Roberts Show.
Good morning. Welcome to Sam Roberts Show, live here on Opie Radio. If you want to call in, 866-969-1969 is the phone number. That's 866-969-1969. We're here for today only. Tomorrow, Bennington is on, but we are on the channel every day. For those that don't know, Sam Roberts Show is live every day, Monday through Friday, at 12 p.m. Eastern, here on Opie Radio. That's noon Eastern time, here on Opie Radio. And you know, one of the things that we've had a lot of fun with is this video that went viral earlier this summer. It's a Canadian cop, and he's being interviewed by the Canadian News Network. I don't know how they work things over there, but some Canadian news network. They interview this cop, and they're just talking to him about something. And as he's being spoken to, a road rage incident occurs right under the overpass. They're talking on a highway overpass, and right under them, two cars stop, and these two guys start fighting with each other. So the reporter tells the constable, Graham Williamson, hey, I think there's a road rage incident. And listen to the way Graham Williamson doesn't even have to go under the bridge. Doesn't even have to go under the overpass. From the top of the overpass, he yells at them, and he settles the whole thing. Listen to this.
There's a road rage incident just right there.
Hey! Now's the time. Hey! Get back in the car. Grow up. Sit down or you're going to get arrested. Both of you, grow up. Come on, boys. Move it. Everybody's a winner. Don't worry.
This is a man who protects and serves, and he takes no guff. I've been obsessed with him. A lot of people have been. Ladies and gentlemen, on the Sam Roberts Show phone line right now, for the first time ever, Constable Graham Williamson. Mr. Williamson.
Good morning, sir.
It sounds just like you. That's incredible. That's amazing. That's amazing. So what is it like for you? You're sitting there and you're being interviewed. What were you being interviewed for, first of all?
Oh, well, there's actually a fatal collision had occurred on the highway just north of me, and me as the media relations officer, I'm responsible for explaining what's going on to the public through the media, and that's exactly what I was doing. I was being interviewed by a representative of the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation.
So you're the guy, when they need somebody, when they're like, we need a cop that will speak for cops, you're the guy who knows how to talk to the people.
Oh, yeah, I've been doing it for a number of years, and I sort of like it sometimes, but sometimes it gets very, very busy, and, the phone calls come in hot and heavy really fast, and sometimes it can be a little bit bothersome, and I really try to maintain my composure with the media reps, but So far, nobody's complained about me, so I must be doing something right.
You ever give them a scolding, though? Because I hear you giving people scoldings. I heard these road rage guys got a scolding. Did you ever have to give a reporter a scolding? Like, come on, boys, don't ask that question.
Yeah, no, not really.
No.
I fortunately, my position, I usually am interviewed regarding traffic incidents, so there's no ambush interviews or anything like that.
Right. There's not, I guess, not a lot of crime where you are?
Yeah.
There is.
It's not much different from anywhere in the, well, I'd say a smaller to moderate sized city in the USA. We have.
It's not exactly the south side of Chicago, though.
No. Hey, I was there a couple of months ago too.
In the south side of Chicago, you must have taken care of those guys. I don't care who is over there in Chirac. When you get talked down to the way you talk down to people, I would assume it's all business.
Well, it is when I'm, in my uniform and I've adopted my usual persona as a peacekeeper, peacemaker, whatever. I always have to maintain the upper hand.
That's right.
That's what I try to do, and as I say, I've been doing this. I'm in my 45th year, so
my God,
successful. Yeah.
My God. So, have you had to stop crimes before while being interviewed? How much cop work do you do versus media work, first of all? Like, I would assume the interviews would get in the way of you serving your brand of justice, street justice.
Well, I wouldn't call it street justice.
I would.
Normal type of process. My usual assignment is traffic enforcement, which I love. I've been doing it for so many decades. I find it rewarding, and I find it also very effective in saving lives. Again, sometimes the media work gets in the way of my doing this, but
that's right.
Normally, I spend my usual time operating a laser speed measuring device, radar speed measuring devices.
You can do that for 45 years, just check people's speed and still be like, this is a great job?
Well, yeah, I've actually been doing the traffic portion for the last 20 to 25 years. Prior to that, I did any number of things involved with police work from, I was in surveillance, detective work.
Did you go undercover? Like The Wire?
I'm sorry, say again?
Did you go undercover, like in The Wire?
Oh, no. I would do mobile surveillance. So somebody may be, wired up, and I'd follow him for protection, or we would have a target which we would follow to from location to location just to study their habits and hopefully catch them in the crime or just to gather evidence regarding a different crime.
You ever have to get physical with anybody, or is your presence intimidation enough?
Well, I've noticed that over the years, the grayer my hair gets, the less physical I have to get, and I really like it that way. In the old days, it was rough and tumble. I've still got scars on my hands and a little bit of deformity in some of the knuckles.
Really? So you were knocking heads?
Oh, in the old days, yeah.
Man, so what would it take for you to knock somebody out?
I wouldn't even think about that. My main purpose is to get any situation resolved peacefully with no blood, no nothing.
That may be your goal, but it's hard to say that that's your goal when you got no knuckles left.
Well, they heal. I mean, the last real physical altercation I got into it's got to be 10 years ago or so, and essentially I was saving the guy's life because he'd had a speeding ticket for me, and he then tried running into traffic. He was, I guess he just lost it, and he did get hit once by a car, and fortunately I was able to subdue him and really save his life. So,
how old are you?
63.
63. So, are you still at 63 years old ready, just in case? You said you haven't gotten into a fight in 10 years, but if the shit goes down, are you ready to throw hands?
Absolutely. You know what?
Yeah, good for you.
I deal with a lot of young guys at work, and I run circles around them. I stay in shape. I work out usually twice a week at a real physical thing like a CrossFit sort of thing. So
you're a CrossFit guy?
I'm sorry?
You're a CrossFit guy?
Oh, yeah. I do it all.
You must have a hell of a six-pack.
At home.
Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. Never hurt anybody to throw back a few. Am I right?
Oh, true story.
That's right.
In moderation and not while driving, whatever.
Right. Well, you're a traffic guy. If there's one thing that would piss you off, it must be drunk drivers.
It is. Like in Ontario, we have what's known as the Big Four that we focus on. That is impaired driving, aggressive driving, seatbelt use, and, of course, distracted driving.
You ever pull somebody over for a seatbelt and just really start punching people? Like, you fucking moron, you got to wear a seatbelt. You ever get so frustrated that you have to beat someone up like that? No?
No, I'm quite professional in my in my work, and I might add, here that I was the first officer to actually lay a charge regarding seatbelt use in Ontario back on February the 1st, 1976. So yeah, I've been around.
Wow, you're a history maker. Did you have any idea? First of all, this viral video that went everywhere that I've been obsessed with, that we've all been obsessed with here on the show. I'm going to tell you how obsessed with we are. I have a friend, and I went to a party at his place a couple of weeks ago, and we were all outside, and his wife was telling us to get inside. And my friend listens to this show. And so when his wife said, "Come on, guys, let's go in," my friend started yelling, "Move it, boys! Come on, boys!"
Well, you know, it was funny when the thing was actually happening.
Yes.
I heard the word "boys" come out in the tape, and I thought there's quite an inflection in that voice. The reason I used the word "boys" because I was on camera and I didn't want to call them ladies. That's the reason it came out like that.
That's your go-to, to call these gentlemen ladies and let them know they're not impressing anybody?
Yeah, really, because I could really read them psychologically. I could see neither of them really wanted to fight.
Right.
Neither wanted to back down. Both of them wanted to save face and wanted to get out of it gracefully and looking like they won. So that was my final line. Everybody's a winner. Don't worry, guys. You know, it's all over. Yeah,
but it wasn't like you weren't saying "Don't worry, everybody's a winner." You were in issuing some humiliation tactics.
You know what? That's a very good analysis of it. That's what it was, truly.
Really? So your mission was, let me make these guys feel stupid until they get back in the car.
Yeah, that's what it was, because they had the trouble is, again, it goes back to the psychology of the event. They were they were among an audience. They had other motorists. Everybody was either stopped or moving very slowly. They were watching. I'm watching. The news crews up on the bridge were watching. So again, they're performing that, something which people should remember. When you know you're on camera, your actions are actually different from what they would be should you not be on camera.
Now, are you surprised that so many American cops get busted for doing dumb shit on camera?
Yes.
You are. You are.
I don't, for the life of me, understand why anybody would do anything that's really stupid, because I conduct myself as if I'm on camera all the time.
That's what I was saying the other day. Like this cop in Philly, here in the States, he got in trouble because he pulled a guy over, and instead of impounding his car because he had no registration, he told the guy, "Look, you have two choices. Either you buy these tickets to this police fundraiser, or we're going to take your car." And then he also called his windshield wipers, I believe the term was faggy, because they were pink. And he got caught on tape doing it. And I thought to myself, like, the only way in 2015 to survive as a law enforcement officer is to just act like you're on camera at all times, because odds are you are on camera.
Well, exactly. And that's what I tell everybody. Let them know. I mean, assume you're on camera, because our highways, like which I patrol most, I guess you could call me like a state patrol officer, but I'm provincial, of course.
I call you constable.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Provincial constable, yeah.
Yeah.
But I do like state patrol work, which is mainly on the highways and nothing but.
So once you get this viral fame going, where you got this video, you got the over 1 million hits on this thing now. Is this sort of in you, where now anytime there's a camera on you, you're like, you know what? Let me see if I can get a little more of this internet fame headed my way.
No, not at all. I don't even think about that. Like, I've been doing camera work for so long that, like, being on camera, being recorded, or being played back anywhere, it's not like the thrill that it used to be, like that very first few times, like, hey, look at me, I'm on TV, this is cool. It used to be
but this one, everybody's seen it now. This is, I mean, has it impacted you at all? Have you realized how many people have watched this crazy video?
Yeah, I know. Actually, my kids told me the hits were up to over 3 million.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those things. I mean, I rarely think about it. It's
man, oh man,
it doesn't really affect me at all.
Well, I'm going to tell you something, Constable Graham Williamson. If I was pretending like I was going to get in a fight and a man like you, did you think to yourself when you're looking at these two guys, you're on the overpass above them?